Hello! Whoa, that's got me cropped up there. See, it's not just Luke, it's also me.
That happens when I'm in charge.
Yeah, no, it does. Every single day. Every single day. But yeah, welcome everybody to the Coastal Conclave. I am your temporary Dungeon Master host.
Very temporary.
Yes, hopefully even more temporary than these players wish, because I'm absolutely tormenting them. I mean, what? But no, I'm Andy, and we'll go around quickly and introduce everybody.
Hi, I'm Richard. I play Druk, the Lesser of the Thunder, the Dragon Ball barbarian who can't modulate the volume of his voice.
Oh, welcome back.
Oh, it's good to be back. So hi, I'm Nat. So I play Siren Oathshrine. Siren is the worst druid. The very worst.
Can confirm. Very much the worst. Hi, I'm Mike.
And I'm Cannibal Shada, fairy wizard, who is currently very unconscious due to the flailing head of a bitch.
Oh.
And all of our viewers have left.
We can put subtitles on that post, right?
No.
People put your closed caption along with this episode. It might help.
Hi, I'm Erin. I play Russell, the sorcerer Kenku, with the ego the size of a sun.
1,000 suns.
Nice.
Confidence bird.
Confidence bird.
Okay.
I am Luke. I am playing Iviagus, the Imperial Templar. Coming in to mess things up, everybody.
Yep. And if people haven't seen any of our other primary campaign, Chronicles of Amar, Luke is our normal dungeon master, but now he's on that side, so I can torment him as much as he torments me. That doesn't happen. It's really just one way. So we're going to jump over to our recap video, of which one by Dante Song, who is telling the tale of the Cult of Hunger series, will regale us with what actually happened. So hopefully you guys can pick up where we left off, because it's been a few months since we've done one of these, but we are back on it again. So we'll jump over to that right now. See you all in a couple of minutes.
Welcome back, friends. I know it's been a while since I had graced you with one of my tales, but Dante Sunsong has returned. And what tale shall I tell you today? Well, for you see, I left us off at a critical point in the story of our intrepid heroes, deep in the mining caverns of one lair of gnolls. Yes, say it is not so, but I have brought to you the continuation of the Cult of Hunger. Much has happened where we had left off. The cult had struck out at the sleepy town of Redland in the night, and with the assistance of the Imperial Templar Ericarina, now turned turncoat and chosen servant of Yenagu, the town was slaughtered and the adventurers captured, as she led the force of gnolls and cultists to reclaim that fleshy sack of pure evil, malevolence, and darkness. Thrown in jail below the deep earth, in the caves of some old abandoned mine, the adventurers met new allies. They were accosted and overseen by their captors, and the group dared an escape, and with missing weapons and armor, they struggled to defeat the beasts. They lost Fig Dustwood in the skirmish, but found freedom nonetheless. Now allied together, the group, Druk, the Dragonborn Barbarian of Giant King, Iviagus, the Knight of the Arillian Empire, Siren, an Elven Druid, Russell, the Kenku Sorcerer, and the Dark Elf they had found, Fiore. Headed down only to find a gated area, and beyond a pack of hyenas, and the same vampiric gnoll creature that had attacked the town of Redland as the vanguard of the cult's assault. Here they met Caliban, a fairy wizard that had been skulking around the tunnels looking for food. Or so he said. With Caliban's help, the group moved back to the jails and ascended further into the mining tunnels, desperate to find a path out of this hellhole. First, they came across a butchery that fed the mass of creatures below in the pens, and here they found, sadly, the disembodied remains of Binga, one of their captured friends during the Redland assault, and Druk disposed of the gnoll butcher overseeing this place. From here, they chose one path of 3 and found a large mining junction where more gnolls and hyenas stayed. Managing to defeat them, they had made quite the racket, however, throwing fireballs and collapsing the northern tunnel. And soon they could hear around them the forces of the lair stirring and starting to descend upon their position. As they prepared and tried to decide which way to travel to escape this area, as this junction had 4 paths to tread, the wizard Caliban was struck by a flail head, knocking him unconscious as Ericarina emerged from the passage that they had arrived from. The dark elf Fiore prostrated herself immediately in front of the cult's leader, seemingly giving up as more gnolls appeared at each entrance to the mining junction. And now the group faces the wrath of Ericarina and a deadly decision for their freedom.
We're back! Discussing Mike's projection of voice and the fact that he's unconscious at the moment, saving us all from Caliban.
Rest your voice.
Yeah, just rest it for when he gets back on his feet. So, funny enough, the Yeti Black is disconnected. So I think by moving it, we've lost that thing.
That means, Mike, that level that you're operating at is perfect.
Yeah.
For this mic here.
I don't even know which one it is.
No!
Oh, that might have put back on. Yep.
Nothing.
Yeah, there we go.
IT guy, turn off and again.
Sorry for that very, very, very brief little technical issue, but you should have audio back up and running. So, as you heard in our recap, Cult of Hunger, episode 6, where we left off with our group, is a juncture of deadly decisions around their freedom, whether or not they're going to live, that kind of stuff. But essentially, our group has dealt with the gnoll threat for some time now. They have helped to try and defend Reglin against a cultist attack, which unfortunately succeeded in retrieving an artifact, a giant fleshy sack, that we had in one of our one-shots. I think it was a throwing fleshy sack, yes. And basically, our group was captured and taken down into this abandoned underground mine. They were put in jail and overseen by a couple of gnolls. The turncoat, Ericarina, a Templar, much like Iviagus as well.
Is it Fiore?
Yes, Fiore is the dark elf that was in the jails as well. Big was with us at that time, along with Druk and Iviagus. Binga and Silva were nowhere to be seen, which were our past cast members' characters. And they met 2 new companions. They met Russell, the Kenku sorcerer, and our druid friend Siren over here, played by Nat, and Fiore, a dark elf who was very upset about the situation. It's essentially what
She's happy about anything.
I don't think so. So they staged a bit of a jailbreak and managed to take out the couple of gnolls that were guarding their group. But sadly, they lost Fig in this daring escape, who is now, I believe, just shoved into a bag or slumped over Druk's shoulder.
Yep.
I'm unclear as to what's actually going on there.
I have to re-listen to it. I remember I had Druk, and then there was some debate about eating him.
Yes.
Don't know where he's now, but I do feel quite full, so...
Yeah.
Mysteriously disappeared while we weren't looking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's what happened.
Maybe I just turned into a backpack.
I just...
Hobgoblin flesh does make fantastic merchandise.
I feel like you go on your backpack, you cut out a couple of holes and just done like a reverse baby backpack, but he's like on the back just like this. And you just like walk around with him.
Yes.
As it should be.
Canon.
Yeah, that's, if anybody wants a picture of what's going on in that situation, that's how it looks. So, after that, They did go down first. There's 2 tunnels that led out of the jail. One that went descended down further into the tunnels, and one that went up. They went down and they found a pen caged off by wood and sort of wire and stuff like that. And inside they could see a massive hyena and at least 12 hyenas, some leprotters, and the creature that had originally assaulted Redlin at the start, this vampiric gnoll. Deciding that was not a good way to go, they turned and somebody bumped into an invisible fairy. Calon then appeared and said he was down here to find food. So, grouping up and hoping the group hoped he could lead them out, as he had been here many times, went back up, this time ascending back up. They found a butchery with one lone knoll, there we go. One lone knoll.
I'll describe as a mole.
I think that was true. Cutting up corpses of people and basically turning it into a food bag thing that he was throwing down these chutes that fell down into the pits below. That is where, unfortunately, you found Binga's disembodied corpse. Missing legs and arms and most of his face, and basically like a butchery massacre through hanging up off the ceiling. After dealing with the gnoll, I think pretty much just went and tore itself, your group then came to a 3-way junction, and with Calabon's assistance went left, I believe, and going down to the left, you eventually came to a mining sort of junction. So, as you guys will see on the battle map very shortly, there was a 4-way, sort of like the mining cart track going through the center of this space, you coming out of an exit, and then there was another entry exit on the other side. There was a couple of gnolls and cultists in this room, which you managed to fight. After throwing a couple of fireball spells around, you collapsed the northern tunnel, blew a huge crater just in front of you, and made one hell of a noise, which attracted the attention of the rest of the lair. So after you had about a minute, you were getting yourselves prepared, trying to scavenge around, decide where you were going to go, and it was at this point, after people had started doing a couple of spells to help themselves out, that from a doorway, a flail flung out, slamming into Calabon and knocking him unconscious in one strike as Eric Arena walked out from the entry exit that you guys had just came through. And I don't really believe she said anything as Calabon's body crumples to the ground. Russell is standing next to you, and our other 3 companions are in the middle. Down to the south entry exit, tunnel way for the mining cart. Somebody did go down there, and they did hear that there were creatures coming up from that way. You heard creatures, but you haven't seen them yet. It's a winding tunnel, so you assume that they're a little bit far away. But somebody went out chasing down one of the cultists in the westerly side. I believe that was you, yep. And you saw another pack of gnolls coming towards that, and they actually came through just as Eric Arena has entered. So we'll go over to our battle cam, and I will ask everybody what they would like to do.
Let's start with Noah.
Accurate. So don't worry about death saving throw just yet. You are unconscious. We are out in initiative order. Every so often I'll get you to maybe do one if people aren't acting quickly enough.
Yep.
I believe though, Siren, seeing what was transpiring, was ready to do something, and then she was going to rush over and try and help him as soon as possible.
Correct. So, Siren was just about to rush over to Calabon, hoping that she could potentially, revive him without his voice box, but unfortunately not necessarily an option here. And try to cast Cure Wounds on him.
Yeah, too easy. So you rush over. Ericarina doesn't seem to do anything to stop you, only that this Knoll walks over, her eyebrow raises a bit, and you sort of lean down and cast your spell. Fury at this point, the Dark Elf has walked all the way over and has prostrated herself on the ground, and it's just like, Ericarina, I'm so sorry. It was all their idea. I didn't do anything about it. And she's basically starting to pull. You hear the chain clinks coming back through the hilt of the flail weapon as she's winding it back up. And she's just like, did you not find your accommodation to your liking, adventurers?
At the corner of my mouth, I'm going to do a Drook whisper. So, what's the plan, Jeremy?
Please tell me this is not a whisper and you're saying this at full volume.
Yes.
Yeah.
He said Drook whisper.
Yeah, that's fair.
You can roll your healing to give to Calipon.
So, as the questionable Knoll at this stage, so just rather than doing an obvious sort of lay on hands gesture, effectively just scooping this fairy up.
Yep.
Not quite over the shoulder. It's almost like baby stuff. Just fluids. Okay, so we have 48. Sorry, that is 5 plus spellcasting modifier, which is, because it's been a little while, 3. So, have some 8.
How much did I get?
8.
8.
In the tush.
Yeah. With a gentle pat on the bottom.
So as the magic flows through me,
no spell slots.
Excellent.
as the magic flows through me, all you can feel is Calibon reciprocating the cuddle. He says nothing. And as best you can tell, feigns unconsciousness.
Just stay quiet. And they'll walk back to the center of the room.
Yep. You head back over here. At this point, these Gnolls are sort of starting to fan out. One's coming over here. Iviagus to your left, you can see him sort of poking around. The 2 hyenas sort of rush up front. One of them, this guy here, has them on 2 leads as they sort of snap and snarl at you as he's holding them with a chained hand. The other one stays at the door. The sounds from down south continue to grow, but still seem a little ways off. Fury at this point gets back up onto her knees, looks back at the group, and sort of just goes, anything you need, mistress, anything at all. Please, you understand my position. You understand who I am. I am much more valuable to you as an ally than an enemy. Let me deal with these ones, and then I will be your servant, your forever servant. You watch as Ericarina just kind of like looks down at her like Seymour and just goes, and her eyes narrow for a second, and sort of just goes, very well. Kill that one. And you look as Fury looks over at you and sort of just goes,
Russell, no.
Yes, my mistress. She stands up and Ericarina is just like, crossing her arms, keeping an eye out what's going on. But Russell, you watch as Fury looks at you, looks behind, and just goes, kind of mouthing the words, get ready.
Russell kind of.
She just slowly moves to you, very, very slowly. You've got time. So you're over here. What's everybody else doing?
Russell, are thou prepared for this combat?
No!
Oh, sorry. Please, Russell, go on.
Magic is weak. He just kind of.
Then stay behind, Druk. Iviagus.
So you come over
I'm
here.
moving.
and
I'm
push him
heading
behind.
towards the
Yeah.
mine shaft.
You're just walking
one?
away.
Yep.
Ivi.
Edging slowly.
Ivi. Ivi.
It'll be alright. It'll be alright.
This knoll sort of comes up here a little bit, now looking at you very intently as it snarls, and you can see the saliva, but it's keeping its distance a little bit, waiting for a command.
Cern will, baby in arms, back towards the Druk bird sandwich.
Pantsless. Pantsless sandwich.
Wait, no, all of us are technically pantsless. So yes, yes, the pantsless sandwich. And gently, so as she's sidling over this giant knoll, just kind of, pumping over, gently kind of use her presence to start to push towards the minecart and the shaft leading off. Making sure to keep between Russell and the stabby one.
Too easy.
Samuel.
Well, at this point, yeah, you're fully pulled out that dagger that she had found, and he's just kind of like pointing it at you, and now you, as you sort of push Russell behind, she's like, Dragonborn, this doesn't concern you. I need to kill her.
I'd like to roll an insight. There seems to be some sort of signal that you're sending me.
I swear to God.
I feel quite insightful today. For a 16.
Nice.
0.
Nice. Because she's got her back to Arena, her facial expressions and body language, it's giving you this sense that she doesn't mean to kill. She's not in a real fighting stance. She's in more of a stance to flee. Like, she looks like she's ready to bolt. As she gets like closer, and it's just like looking at you, Russell, and like trying to be like eyes are darting towards you, and then back in over in this sort of way. Do me either a perception or an insight check for me, please.
What am I better at? Insight. That is a 13.
13? Okay. You're not 100% sure. It's hard to tell because you don't know this person very well, but it's almost like she's wanting you to do something to either Eric Arena or the area around her.
From the signals that I was inferring from my insight check, did I get a vibe on the direction she's going to want to escape to?
She's going to bolt down the passage.
The same one Ivy is at? And that's what direction, what cardinal direction?
That is south.
South. Russell, I do not want to stand between two warriors fighting, for this could go south very quickly. Honor demands I stand back.
I think that's a good idea, Spitz-Fiore. As she keeps looking at Russell like...
Yeah.
Allow me to
I
give.
feel like Russell understands at this
She's
point.
just like, oh, it's inside the computer.
I shall give thou room for combat and move more to the south.
Yeah.
So, yeah, as you start moving, Druk, you get down to the south. These two hyenas sort of snapping at you. The knoll next to them sort of reins them in. And they start doing their little hyena giggle. You start moving down southwards. To your right, there is a mining cart overturned.
The feng shui of this is all out of order.
I grab the mining cart and I pick it up.
Do an athletics check as Fiore sees you doing this. She starts hurrying up a little bit, moving towards Russell. You watch as Eric Green at this point is just like, as much as this is entertaining, can you please just kill her?
and there's this guttural sort of sound as her voice almost goes very similar to the gnolls for a moment.
If thou would prove thyself, Fury, one must have an arena for combat. I lift the minecart back into the tracks with a blah blah blah. Oh, 25.
25, nice. You basically just grab it and just yank, like it's only just come off the tracksuit. You just like lean over it, grab the side of it and pull it up and eventually just clips back onto the tracks. At this point, Ericarina sort of darts her eyes to you, but as she does, Fiora yets out this, "Die! Scum!" and she lunges at you, Russell. So if you're resisting it, do an athletics or acrobatics check, as she does an athletics check against you. You may just take it. You can just submit to whatever she's doing, or you can fight her.
What does thy heart tell you?
Given the information that you know, what do you feel?
I feel like resisting would be a better option, so I can run peaceably.
Yeah.
I take it.
You take it.
It's what I wanted to do all along.
Yeah. So there's a split moment where you actually try to like move out of the way, and Fiore seems a little confused, as if her information is not getting across.
You are talking to a senile, egotistical
She
bird.
grabs you by some of the feathers on the scruff of your neck and sort of like pins you around, sweeps out a leg, and like throws you to the ground, and basically comes up with the dagger, moves in quickly, and she's like, "Attack the beams above her now!" And then she rolls herself off.
Yes.
Ericarina is drawn by this, ignoring the fact that the cart has been placed back. The gnolls kind of like looking at the scene, hungry for blood. They're like waiting for the final blow to come down as the dagger is raised.
As she whispers this into Russell, Russell will shoot a firebolt at the thing.
At the beams above her? Yep, too easy. Make an attack roll.
Okay, these dice are pissing me off. I rolled a 0.
Tell us how you really feel, Aaron.
For fuck's sake. 7?
Look, it still hits, but it'll probably take half damage. How much do damage?
It's the lintel dodges out of the way.
Yeah, it's like...
It does 6.
Only 6 damage. Okay.
To be fair, it's a cantrip.
It is 2d10. You did roll both.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. So at this point, it does blast against it, and it kind of cracks and fizzles a little bit, and then there's a bit of it shifts just ever so slightly, and you see a bit of dust. Ericarina at that point sort of like just stands and looks up, waiting for it to collapse,
I missed.
and then nothing really happens. But what does Iviagus
I'm
do?
gonna cast message on the knoll next to me
Yeah.
and say, the roof is collapsing, run.
Okay. Make a intimidation or deception check.
Switching out these damn dice.
21.
21, nice. The closest one that's right at you sort of looks around for a second and then looks at the dust sort of coming off and just goes and starts running. So he's running away. Drook's got the mining cart back onto the thing, which is there.
I'm primed and ready.
So Russell, you're on the ground.
Yep.
Fiora is also prone as she's rolled off. She looks up and goes, "Seriously, how the hell did you miss?"
I'm a bit rusty.
Ericarina just looks up, a smile on her face, but is there anything anybody else would like to do?
So, seeing what's happened,
Yep.
and with the two going down and watching, because, so her and, sorry, I've forgotten, Stabby.
Fiora.
It's really like the stabby one. Because her and Fiora did spend quite a while in the cells with Russell before everyone arrived. sort of trusting, vaguely, that she won't necessarily feel Russell, kind of allowed it to happen and managed to hear what she would have hissed down to Russell.
Yeah, you're like still.
Yeah. So, I will cast Ice Knife
Nice.
at the, using a reserve slot, the oh shit slot,
Yep.
if you will.
Good moment.
As she's doing this, I feel the start of the spell starting to be cast. I cast message and point at her from Xavier, so going, "You got this. You got this."
I thought you were about to be like, I cast counterspell.
I'd like to revise my.
What a twist! What a twist! Hellboy is in league with Arena.
Hellboy is just in league with
I give you
let's be
great
honest.
encouragement in a different voice.
Okay. It's the most articulate I've ever heard you.
I will give you advantage for that.
Oh, well, thank you. I may need it. For a double 12.
Oh
But
yeah.
that does make it an 18, so.
Nice. Okay. That hits cleanly. You go for damage. It automatically fails a dex save, so you can pump that into it as well.
Excellent. So, with that little delicious detail of it being underground and everything being awfully moist,
Yep.
the ice will basically shatter over the beam, and the saturated wood will start to crack with ice as so the actual fibers that start to pull apart. So we are looking at 1d10 damage, and then we have the lovely afterglow.
Yeah.
So that's 2.
Nice. Add that to the 3 damage that Russell did.
But there is also damage to the surrounding area for 2d6.
Yes.
For 4.
4, nice. Alright. You managed to get over 10.
It seems like a real grudging, like, you hit the bed.
Yeah.
Didn't expect to
Yeah.
get 10.
So you watch as with the ice sort of caking over it and then that moisture, it starts to split. The rock weight decides to give way. And at this point, Ericarina, the order of operation is Russell has shot their bolts. As Fiore yells this out, Ericarina stands up, almost triumphant, and then here's the thud as you basically did it midway from her sort of like recovery, and she looks up. The explosion happens. She sort of shields herself as ice rains down on her, and then the wood goes and starts breaking apart, snapping. You hear rocks start to, and Ericarina at this point looks up, snarls, and sort of darts back into the room that she was in as this area starts to fall down around where she is. So the cave-in starts, and you realize that that beam is a support beam for that entire section, and as it breaks, that side is starting to break, another pillar goes down, and it's a chain reaction through the entire space as you start to feel the ground shake and rock. The Knolls at this point, pretty much seeing that guy go, he's got Patsy! In Knoll. Alls pull away, the other guy grabs the hyenas and starts yanking them towards the thing. Rocks start falling around you in this cave-in. What do you guys like to do?
Get to the minecart!
I will scoop a Russell.
How big is the minecart?
It's not really to scout, you guys will get in there. It's quite large.
I already have one fairy.
Yep.
Bird as well. Hollow bones, nice and light. And I will dive from the minecart, assuming that Fiore has enough self-preservation left to follow.
Oh yeah, she kind of does the thing where she breakdance, flips her legs around and sort of does a backflip up onto her feet and goes, yep, that's time to get out of here, guys! She jumps into the minecart. She's the first one in there 'cause she's so weak. And you all eventually jump into the minecart.
Chook is gonna hit push.
Yes.
Start.
I assume Iviagus is going in, yep.
I was going to say, Drew, push and jump.
Oh, I've already got that. I'm already pushing.
Alright. So we can go back to just the normal scene, as we don't have a minecart elaborate.
What?
I know, right?
I especially came here with the idea of a minecart roller coaster scene.
I wanted the green screen must be like,
One day.
Whoa!
Alright, everybody, together now. Ready? Left. Right. Left.
Dungeon Master, I
Yes.
have been checking out these halls here, pillaging them, wandering around for a while. Do I have any sense of where this track might go?
You can do a history check for me, most certainly, to see if you recall.
Now that is a 19
19.
plus 3, 22.
22. So, your memory failed you when you got to the butchery in that juncture before. It was an area you don't really frequent, which is probably why you were there for the first time and bumped into these guys. As for these areas, they're a little bit more familiar. You do know that the minecart does go deeper into the complex, but as far as you know, it's kind of where the mining got up to. So it doesn't go any further. You're basically going to a dead end, but it does sort of go around a few caverns. And you do recall that you think most of the track is still intact.
Okay, so I essentially know that we are going deeper into the complex,
Much
where
deeper.
it's unclear that there's a way out, and the track may or may not be intact.
Yeah.
Right. I flush nervously with this information. Siri might feel a little bit of a shiver, but I don't say anything to anybody as we start going.
Yep. So the minecart very much starts to move with pace, coming out of the coming into the tunnel. Sorry, and behind you, you can hear the as the entire space behind you caves in. So that juncture is basically completely unusable. As you hear hyenas and creatures in front of you sort of come skidding around. Now, on the minecart, there is a brake lever, but otherwise it's just moving at its own pace. There's a couple of little bits of coal on the ground of it, and as you sort of come around the S-bend a little bit, you can see the group that was coming up has just reached 2 gnolls, a Lacrotta, and a couple of hyenas, and he watches the gnolls sort of look up and see you, and sort of like taking it back a little bit, and grab a hyena each and like jump out of the way as the Lacrotta sort of like leaps up over you, trying to take a swipe out at somebody.
Brace!
So there's 6 of you. 1, 2, 3, 4. Attack roll with disadvantage because it's bloody moving. It's still going to be a 15. And you cop a whopping 7 points of slashing damage as the Lacrotta leaps over you and tries to swipe at you. Yes.
Dungeon Master.
Yes.
Are the gnolls carrying weapons?
Are they right?
I would like to snatch one as we
Go for it. Make an athletics check for me, please. I'll do a contested one with them.
Russell squawks.
I think you'll get one.
Whoa, maybe 17.
17, yeah. I rolled a 2.
I like you hedged your bets there. No, I was rolling. There was every possibility of a 1.
Yeah, exactly. Give me 2 seconds. Let me just double check what they have on them. Spears and axes. So what are you feeling? It's a hand axe.
Spear.
Spear? Too easy. So as it sort of pulls away the hyena and pushes it and sort of steps back, as you go by, you just grab the spear and yank it out of its hand. It kind of gets pulled forward and slams down prone on its face as you grab the spear out of its hand.
God, thanks you for your offerings.
Are there any lights?
There are a few lights in this section, but as you come around the next bend, it goes completely dark.
I cast light.
Yeah, I was going to cast Fairy Fire. That's fine. That's good too.
And berry.
Hmm?
And fire.
So
Sacrifice your beliefs.
it starts off relatively okay. Yeah, you don't have to use the brake too much. It's like a relatively good incline. But then it starts to speed up and you have to use the brake a little bit more, but then all of a sudden it's not just a steep incline. You can see just past the light, some 40 feet away, all of a sudden come up darkness, and you realize that it just drops.
I don't want to alarm anyone, but I've forgotten how to fly.
and you come over the crest, and you just see it just go down into darkness as far as the light, and the thing goes full pedal. The brakes are doing nothing. I guess is somebody trying to brake, or are they just letting this happen?
Let's just go with it, guys.
I'm still in my arms just steering,
Yep.
and it's reeling from the fact that I can't currently seem to control my wings or my voice.
So Druk, just like he's holding the brake, it sort of just lets it go full belt, and you guys are now just at speed.
I want to look at everybody in the eye as I hold the brake off and be like,
I love you guys.
There is just like wind rushing past you. It's like going through a tunnel in like the Sydney metro at like 100 kilometers an hour. It's just.
we know that I'm trying.
Yep. And it's at the bottom that it starts to peter out a little bit. You all feel that sinking sensation in your stomach as it lurches, sort of in that dip, coming back up. It's then on an angle, going right, going left. It's moving quite erratically, and that is why Iviagus vomits. But everybody needs to make a check to hang on tight. So I'll get a round of athletics or acrobatics checks. You can have advantage if she's vomiting.
I was going to say, she could possibly be eating the space in the car. Gentle. Then up, like much down.
It's so appropriate. Richard's dice rolls off the table.
It doesn't count when it's off the table. You get to roll. Yeah. It's gotta be on the table. That's the rules.
You know what?
It's a flying.
That's why it sounds so good. They're like, how dare you?
Alright, let's everybody go.
19.
17.
15.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 12.
Dirty 12. Okay, that's still enough though. As Druk, kind of at the front of it with the thing sort of lurches forward, you see for a second he looks like he might go over, but then he grabs the side, pushes himself back. Everybody else is holding on for dear life. And then you come to a section where it kind of like looks, the light sort of illuminates. You can now actually see the other side and realize that it just kind of twists around a tunnel on a very strange angle. If you don't keep up speed, it might fall off.
Oh, Jesus.
I don't want to lie to you guys, but we're going down very deep.
You see me trying to flap my wings, but I can't. I'm starting to panic. Just managing my fingernails digging.
Just hold on.
Alright.
Hold on.
As it comes out, it kind of clips a little bit of a lip. It goes airborne for a second and then crashes back down. Sparks fly. I'll get everybody to make another round of checks for me, please. Athletics or acrobatics.
I can't possibly roll worse. It's a 21.
18.
18,
I'm back on
21,
28.
28,
Jesus Christ.
13, 15. You guys continue to manage to hold yourselves in the cart as it careens through these tunnels. Again, it picks up speed. It's going even faster than it was before because it's now got in a bit of a slingshot loop through this section.
If I was to lean forward, can I make it go faster?
Yes. It's now just fully leaning forward and it's just...
Please tell me it just
Really
breaks up.
actually sitting down.
I'm just gonna be that person in the train who's talking on one hand and just leaning.
Speed is just increasing. You feel the wind like it's out almost like...
I just would like to state that I like to think that I am the null version of the safety backrest. So just basically arm either side. Now got very tucked under one arm, football style. Hands reach out as far as possible, create like
Big is still in my backpack.
Just full ragdoll. Heads going.
That might still be a little too soon, guys.
Fresh wounds.
No. It's at this point that everything, this air tunnel, this wind tunnel that's being generated around you, is feeling just real, like there's pressure to it. Suddenly it just gives way. And you feel like you come out into a large space, this long, very tall bridge as you careen across it at speed. Your light is only illuminating so far. Who's got the longest dark vision?
60.
60? 120? Russell. Shadows, sorry.
Wow.
Russell sees just beyond the lights there. You kind of have to wait for your eyes to adjust to it, but you notice something. There's a gleam, and it's at that moment you can see it. The bridge is missing a section, and the tracks kind of just bend out into nothing. You have maybe a round before you hit it at the speed that you guys are. What do you do?
So as loud as you fucking can.
Yeah.
The bridge is out!
So everybody hears that. You have one action. Go.
How much? I just know that it's out.
Well, it comes to you. You're like, oh yeah, that's right. One of the bridges is out.
Right. I cast enlarge on the card.
Okay. Might work. So the card sort of becomes oversized. I guess how would that work when the tracks? Yeah, the tracks would thing would come off.
Yeah.
So
it might start to slide, perhaps. So
Yeah.
Big wheels.
Yeah.
It could be the wheels get bigger, but they don't necessarily go further apart. You know, they might just get. I don't know. I'll leave it up to you to decide.
well,
but
the enlarge basically just takes the proportions of the thing and makes it bigger. So if the
doubles in
wheels
all dimensions.
doubles in all dimensions. So it goes off to the side. You guys are now in this large boat-like mining cart, but it has sort of opened up the wheelbase enough that the axles are just grinding against metal, and you can feel everybody basically gets lurched forward as this friction suddenly applies to the mining cart. I'll get everybody to make an athletics and acrobatics check to see if anybody goes through the windshield. Not that it happens.
That might be part of the problem.
Well, it should be much larger now, much larger cup for us to.
Yes. Yeah.
The proverbial liquid in.
It's physics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Physics.
So
What's
that
it
was my one action.
Don't
22.
Oh, 19.
19.
15.
15. Nice. Everybody's fine. A couple of you with the 15 bump against the now enlarged sort of like base and feel yourself sort of like getting like pushed against it with force, but you manage to hang on and not get thrown out as the thing starts to slow down. So that's what Caliban has done. What does everybody else
I've
do?
got ass. But good.
So we are careening along a bridge.
Yes. Now grinding along the bridge, like a skateboard. You guys are still going quite quick.
Like we're thinking rock and then tracks laid upon it.
Well, you can't see what's below. It's just darkness.
No, but what are the tracks laid on?
The tracks on the bridge are just the scaffolding of the bridge itself. So it actually it's suspended above whatever you guys are over.
Okay. I'm going to, and the wheels aren't in motion.
I mean, they're still spinning, but they're not attached to anything
Yeah.
anymore.
I want to head to the back of the cart. I'm going to grab my new spear. I'm going to like use it as another point of friction to help slow down by holding it and then grinding it against the bridge.
So make a athletic check for me. Iviagus and Siren, what do you guys like to do?
I think that is a fantastic idea.
Well, what did you roll, Richard?
It's a dirty 10.
A dirty 10. Okay.
And I have this wonderful, definitely not very expensive stuff that we stole off that one guy in that big cabin.
That's true.
That I have absolutely no recollection of what it does, but I know I have a stuff.
I don't think you've identified it yet, so yeah.
Possibly to carts.
It's a cart stopping stuff.
What are the chances?
Wow.
Also, I'll copy Drax.
Yeah, do the same thing.
As I do that, I will also call out, has anyone pulled the brake?
Which now would be double the size.
That's true.
What would it actually be?
The wheels aren't on the track anymore.
It is still on.
It's science.
The wheels anymore.
I mean, but if the wheels still technically turn.
It's on the bus.
That's what Siren says. That's what Siren says. We don't worry about whether or not it's correct.
Showing his stuff over the back. I'm going to cast guns on someone and jump out the back.
You jump it out the back. So, order of operation. You come up after Droop jumps up on top of it and puts down the spear. As you get up over the top and look down at what Droop's doing, he's kind of got the spear and he's kind of slipping and not able, like the size of the cart now is actually making it hard to find purchase, and it's kind of just dinging along the trucks, just going ding, 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 ding. He's like,
In that case,
what do you do?
can I grab onto his spear?
Yep.
And basically act as an extra anchor and just.
Alright, you give him help action, you can retry your check. At this same time, you're trying to adjust yourself. Iviagus just yeets himself out. Now, are you going into the abyss, or are you going onto the tracks? Okay, cool. Make an athletics or acrobatics check for me.
Take your hands off.
And now I'm
Stronger than I look.
Fuck, I cut my hands. 13.
Excellent.
21.
So you're digging against it, and she grabs the hills. You push down, and you can feel it gripping into things. You cutting through wood. The thing lurches again and stops. You watch Iviagus go past you. He hits the tracks, slides across, desperately trying to grab something, and then just goes off into darkness. Iviagus. 50 feet down, you hit water.
That's so hurt.
Everybody hears that amongst the grinding, this little splash as the friction between the two actions slows the cart and it stops just before it hits the broken section. We'll probably say, just like all the movies, right just before.
Yeah.
Like it's right on that edge.
So I jump off Siren and I just have a bit of a sort of crawl the lip a little bit, and I'm just like.
Sorry, a little bit because dark.
Nothing was very bad.
I'm still holding.
Nothing. Where'd the pretty one go?
He dove. I assumed to lighten the weight, to make our chances for survival better. He has sacrificed himself, so that we may live.
Brave.
Iviagus, can you hear us?
Make an athletics check for me.
It's not deep. Does he?
22.
22? Nice. You surface. It's pretty difficult with the armor, but you manage to get up. And you hear that.
And then the light on the cart goes out, and I light myself up. While I'm trying to look for
You guys are plunged into darkness, except for dark vision people are down below. There's just...
I'm trying to find the bridge.
Yeah, it's not too far away.
I'm trying to connect onto it.
Yeah,
I don't cast very far on the cart, so it's dim low.
Fury's just like, there's water down there. Your friend's very lucky.
It's not luck. I'm here.
Oh, it was definitely not skills. You see him, he went off like a fish and just went boom, 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 boom.
Don't want to hear from you, traitor.
What are you talking about? I'm not a traitor. I'm the only reason you guys have their life.
I gesture the cart, the oversized cart that's now glowing, and I pop off the back and I start to pace like I'm sort of starting a bit of an inquisition here. Walking.
So, what is he doing?
Okay, come on. To be fair, she did help us out.
Look, I'm good at deception. I played the part. I needed Russell to try and do a bit better than that.
I still want to hit you, just so you know.
Oh, good. It's not just me.
Still want to hit you, just so you know.
Oh.
But maybe later.
I think we've got bigger problems.
Okay, so
Do we know where we are?
no idea.
Was that a shot at the fairy?
What are you talking about?
Bigger. Problems.
It's a figure of speech. What would I be referring to? Your ego?
I run to Yora and try to push her off the edge.
do an athletics check. You're at disadvantage. You're one size smaller than she is.
Eight.
You kind of come up and like grab her, and she just like picks you up and pulls you away and goes, "What are you trying to do? Get away from me!" And throws you out.
I sort of slip backwards and roll it, but I try to flutter my wings, but they don't quite. I think really happens is they don't really catch on, but I just flutter my dagger like.
Now, great spirit, calm your tempest.
Exactly. Listen to the Dragonborn.
Study one.
I have a name thing.
Yes, but study one is a title.
Name is Tony, of course.
He's back.
We must help our comrade Iviagus, who I have, well, fallen to his death. The first step is to determine how far Iviagus has fallen.
And I pick up a piece of coal and drop it. And I count.
What is the math for that? Oh, you're in the teacher.
Isn't it like in a vacuum 7.5 meters per second or something like that? It's the accelerator.
Yeah, we said 50 feet, yeah, we convert feet, meters, and yeah.
And also not in back.
Long story short, it takes 4 seconds.
Great!
It hits him in the head.
And you see a piece of coal near you just go.
By very room math, I determined this to be 100 feet down.
That's what Fiora looks there and goes, looks down and goes, it's actually weirdly accurate. Should we go get your friend? He's like right there screaming for help.
Hey, do you see any land down there? Don't you look?
I can only see 20 feet.
Can
At 120 feet, you only see, so the gap to the other side of the broken area is about 40 or so feet, and then it just continues into darkness, the other side of the bridge. The bridge that you come from continues to darkness, and now that you can get a chance to actually look down and see what's going on, you do see the base. There is a large lake that this is travelling over the top of, but you just see
water.
water and darkness around. So to the extent of your vision, you are in the middle of a giant cavern, as far as you can tell.
I suppose I can go fly down and grab him.
Russell, before you tie your wings, we might have to go down there anyway, unless there's some way for us to cross this 40-foot gap to the other side. Does anybody have a means of crossing this span of distance?
Not without any gear.
Maybe we would be a great spirit.
I think there is a question we have not really thought to ask yet.
Enlighten us.
How's the water down there?
Cold.
It's crazy.
Perfect. I take one step back, and then and I die. In like I straight into the water.
Well,
I'm not getting
maybe an athletic acrobatic will determine that.
20.
Describe how you perfectly.
If anybody could see me in the darkness,
Yeah.
it would be majestic.
I can see you
I'm
from
ev-
60 feet.
I am every bit
Triple time pike.
the great spirit
Russell
that Druck
is impressed
perceives.
the whole time.
And as I seem to, as I pierce the water, it's like I just like it's a thing of beauty. It's just so effortless and natural as I flush through the water. I come back up and my wings start.
There's something
working.
down here.
Yeah, you hear another form in the water.
There's something down
That's
here.
exactly the same size and sound as the piece of control.
And then I
Sounded like a turn.
I don't. If it's cold, no. We need. I'm not swinging that shit.
It's lovely.
This float? She points to the oversized mining cart.
That's a good question.
I mean, we could probably just throw it in and see what happens. It's not going to be doing anything else any good.
Dawn!
Drop, get it in.
Whoa!
Do an athletic check.
Well, without I can't hear because of muscle.
How do you want this to go?
I was going to say push it to the other side of the supports than the people are on, so you don't crush them.
Are they people directly in front of us or to the side?
No, they're to the side. They're at the back, so they're probably about 30 feet away from the
Okay, right,
group. So Druk is knocking it down
Yeah.
into the space.
I just have this image just,
People down there.
It extends the reach out. It's all in my
Something big down here.
So that's a 22.
22, nice. Druk gets right behind it, shoves, and without too much effort, you just watch it grind off and fall down. There's a large impacting splash as it hits the water, and because of its size, it now has a lot of space to hold buoyancy. And it does just probably maybe 1 or 2 feet above the waterline. Hold itself afloat.
Druk jumps in off and jumps off almost immediately after, not on top, but just to the side.
I'll get my fully damaged. The water is preventing you from getting fully damaged.
Broke our boat.
And I know this may be dependent on an athletics roll, but Druk tucks himself into a tight ball and yells,
Dragon Ball Z!
That is definitely an athletics. Yeah. I'll give you advantage though.
"Oh,
I'll give you advantage.
Dragon Ball reference."
Well, actually no. You can have inspiration.
Ooh.
For that.
Know your audience. That's a 23.
Let's try and work how this goes.
Oh. Just pushing it off, taking a like 20-degree angle, jumping, getting air, looking back over his shoulder as kind of goes to slow mo, twirls into a tight blue ball.
Dragon Ball.
As that kind of like it's almost passing the rails. And then we go back into normal motion. Light mist.
A little bit of water hits you in your area, and there's a bit of a wake that sort of, you just like
Something alive
bubbles
down
up,
here.
Are you proud, great spirit?
I'm just too busy enjoying the cold water.
Yeah.
I don't even register.
Fury looks at you, Sarah, and just goes, "We're gonna die down here, aren't we?"
Probably.
And then she just
Yes.
fall backwards and steps off. And she gets really close to where the thing is. She doesn't hit the water. She face steps into the minecart at the line. Just good and bends into it and sort of just sits there going, shaking her head.
Russell will just look at you and like, Russell,
Both hands.
how heavy are you? Like, seeing if I could kind of lessen our fall.
I can be Null heavy or I could be Elf heavy.
She's still an old at the moment.
What's the
So, before, with that,
yeah,
so assuming, are you asking that in character or out of character?
out of character.
Okay. So, either, basically, at the moment, I've effectively become an Null, for all intents and purposes. I can become a fairly lightweight half-elf.
Like drinking wise?
Sorry.
Lightweight drinks.
Remains to be seen.
Well, you could just turn into a bird, right? Or a fish.
Or
No.
birdfish.
Birdfish.
I'm not a great druid. We've established this. I'm not very good at what I do. I'm just very entertaining.
So you step off, do you?
Shall we?
Shall we? Copies needed.
Yeah. Shall we?
Shall we?
So, losing the doll, because frankly it's itchy and uncomfortable.
Yep.
Hands,
Well,
wing.
more like grab on. So,
Oh, right, backpack. And I will just do my best to step off and not faceplant.
yeah.
By the way, Pink's got a few broken bones. You did them.
Yeah.
Hamburger.
These got dense bones. It was the heaviest side. All this.
Unless you guys are doing any flourishes, you just drop down into the water, no problems, no damage, and start making your way over to the minecart, which is now starting to move off to the left, probably with the current, as Fiora gets up and sees she's moved away from your two positions, and she's like, how do we steer this thing? Help! Starting to move to that direction.
I would like to throw my stuff into the cart, which is my spear and my fig. And then we're going to use
Squelch.
Dragonborn power, so I'm just going to grab it and I'm going to kick.
So easy. Do an athletics check for me.
24.
Easy. You start power kicking. Are you pulling power kick, or are you more like boogie board type thing, holding it and like kicking forward and sort of doing a spin around?
More boogie board, just trying to kind of maintain a holding pattern.
Easy.
Scoop everybody up.
Alright. Everybody.
I'm whistling, doing backstroke.
Excellent.
I'll jump. Climb up.
You guys can come in.
Trying his best to swim closer.
Yeah, you guys get close as Drew brings it over and Fiora helps you guys get in.
Dragging the bundle of wet feathers.
Yep.
She doesn't help you, Iviagus, but you kind of feel that maybe it's because these two have been in the jails with her for some time. There's maybe a little bit more of a bond.
Thank you.
She's like, don't mention it, and she's wiping off the water.
Come on, friend.
Ah, I take the hand. Thank you. Much obliged. I'm pretty heavy. I'm in plate armor.
Yeah.
I'm also someone you. Wait.
Plus I didn't see.
I'm also someone that you haven't really seen before, I think.
Just in the cages.
Yeah. Yeah. So, just as a heads up, so instead of Noel plummeting down, there is a very, very bedraggled elf instead.
Bedraggled elf.
Great name for a band.
Yeah.
So, for a actually going to do. We're going to take a break now, and you guys have a bit of discussion what to do next. So where we leave off, viewers, our party has just careened through a roller coaster ride of a minecart, managed to stop themselves from plunging with the minecart into a giant cavern lake, although Iviagus did throw himself out and into the water. Now they've pushed the minecart into the water using it as a makeshift boat, and the rest of the group are now on board, except for Calvin, who's doing backstrokes nearby. So we'll be right back in about 6 or so minutes. So have a bit of a rest break, and we'll return with more Cult of Hunger. Right as we come back, Aaron's like, opens her can of drink. Anyway, we return to the underground caverns, this giant lake by, as far as you guys can tell, spanning this space, a mining cart bridge sort of weaving its way through the middle of it. Now you're all in the mining cart, and once you get in, it probably gets to about a foot from the lip, but it is still holding. How long does enlarge last for?
1 whole minute.
Excellent.
Oh no.
Which means it would have actually finished by that point, and it would be back to normal size. So that's okay. It's still, this principle is still the same.
Less for a truck to push.
Exactly. So you're in your little mining cart's boat. What are we doing? What do we want to do? You don't really have a point of reference apart from the bridge, and it obviously goes out that way and back the way that you came.
But there is a current which is pulling us.
Pulling you away from the bridge.
Like, perpendicular to the.
Correct.
Yeah, okay. Druk is going to kick towards the far side, the side that we didn't get to.
Yep.
I'm just lining up the rafters, pushing that way. The justification is table talk that worst case scenario, the current can still pull us back another way. So while Druk has strength within his mighty dragonborn legs, he shall kick against the currents and find another way.
Too easy.
But all you hear is this.
My wings still aren't working.
Can someone grab the great spirit? Oh!
I don't know, right?
Do we really need that thing?
Held on.
Yeah. So I'm actually with the paladin on this one.
Great spirit, climb up upon my back, verily.
Who's having such a good swim?
Just popping up a bit of water.
I am sorry to cut it short. We need your strength, mighty one.
So I make like a petulant child. I might like sort of climb up on top of you, like crawl over the top of his head.
I did love this.
And then is there some part that's exposed, like that actually, because it's sort of bobbing and floating, right? Yeah. So, but is it like upright, as in people are in it?
Yes.
Okay. All right. And I'm gonna like dangle my legs over the edge, kind of like, you know, I'm having a bit of a tanty about it. I'm just like, I've got 4 emo Faustus.
Oh, he transcends campaigns. Excellent, that's fine. And then you start making your way to the other side.
Making my way downtown, walking fast, swimming.
I will need one more athletics check from you, sir, before you reach the other side. 12. That is enough. But you do gain a level of exhaustion.
What do you think lives in this water?
Don't think about
You
it.
kind of like look around and a few hours is like, can we not think about it? There's enough things in the Underdark that I don't.
Big dinner.
Well, you can go fishing then.
Oh, that does sound good.
So at this point, Russell.
A little bloody then. Just see what comes in. Just a little blood. Is that?
I pull out my dagger.
No.
And I cut my hands.
Yep.
And I start like this.
Little drips and drabs of fairy blood. What color is your blood? Purple.
I don't think he knows.
Disco.
Can I borrow that spear? Borrow your spear.
It's in the car.
Oh, excellent.
Find the thing.
I'm going to do some spear fishing when it comes up to the fairy blood.
Nothing comes. You sit there waiting, droplets, he starts to get doing that. But the little ripples, they remain constant, apart from the splashing of Drook, there doesn't seem to be anything around.
Confidence bird. Do you have fixed wings?
I'm broken.
I know how to.
You've had this problem before? I can't seem to get them up.
She'd kill you.
You know, the apothecary sells something for that.
Oh, because what's just... Of course. The apothecary.
And I make like a wide gesture, like, and I start really sort of throwing myself around on the edge of this thing, like,
I don't suppose anybody has any bandages.
I thought you were going to ask for apothecaries.
Oh,
I have one over there.
Russell, I'm so sorry. I left my bandages in my other cloak.
Nobody here has bandages.
We're all bloody.
Is that where you left your apothecary as well?
Great apothecary.
I don't.
Nothing. Where's the confidence bird?
Where's the confidence?
Not here right now.
I cast message and a point, and in your mind you hear, "Trickle young confidence bird." Unconfidence. You can whisper back. Oh, I'll hear it.
Russell grabs. What's her name?
Caliban.
Caliban.
Great
Russell
spirit.
kind of just grabs Caliban's wings and dangles him onto the water.
Dangles him over what?
Oh, live bait, great idea.
Well, conveniently moved, so
I rolled 2 ones and a 2, and my personal internal check for the wings working is only 12. It's not bad.
It's a great idea, Russell. Live bait. We'll see what we can catch.
don't use them for bait, but help you guys respect my help.
And I'm significantly weak at the moment. I have like almost no health, and I just cut myself.
I don't know why you did that.
But the idea of food was appealing to Caliban. I mean me.
We can find food later.
I think we've got enough bait as it is in the water. As she like fury like gestures to the giant rock like. Trust me, if there was anything around, it would have already come and snatched him up. I think we're safe, weirdly enough.
Sound like a predator. I think she was there whilst I'm like being
Shit, little cat. Like.
Russell will just and drop him back in the minecart.
I look at you, disappointed.
Russell,
2 big clicks.
with the longest dark vision, you're the first person to see the bank as Drook continues to move it. The bridge, 100 feet up in the air, you can see goes into a tunnel. There's a sheer cliff, but then there's an embankment that he's moving to. There seems to be a couple of tunnels past it, and there's a bunch of stuff on the embankment. You're not sure what it is at the distance you are, but make a perception check for me.
16.
16. Still hard to tell at this distance, but even with the dark vision, it's lumps. It's seems to be something strewn across what looks to be an underground sandy beach. So it seems to be more like a dark sort of grainy sand in this small section, but there is things sticking out of it, protrusions, things caked over in sand, lumps, that kind of stuff. You're not really, mounds, you're not really sure exactly what it is.
There's land up ahead.
Whereabouts? Drock, can you see anything?
I can only see about the car.
Russell will point. Drock goes that way.
Is it where I'm already going?
Mostly.
A little bit to the left.
Slightly to the left.
Oh,
The other left.
It's- Proceed with caution, though.
So
There might be something.
yeah, all good. Sorry.
That's it.
So you proceed, and at 60 now to 50 feet, anybody else with dark vision, and now with the light being able to be 20 to 20 with dim light, you guys start to see the edges of this embankment. Two things happen. Everybody quite easily sees these bone white sort of protrusions and things across the sand, immediately recognizing it as bones.
It was bones.
In various different states of sort of piling and scattering. And Drook, the minecart hits ground.
Ooh.
But you are still 30 feet of water away. But it seems to be very shallow, and the minecart is now just strudged to a halt.
And I can stand as well.
You put your feet down, and you realize that, yeah, it's very shallow, you can stand up. And it comes up to about here.
Okay, guys. Oh, yeah.
Furious is like, no, not. The water ends over there.
Not,
Push.
not according to what below the surface here.
Oh my gosh.
You okay, Drop?
Oh.
I appreciate it.
Oh, wait. Yep, I'm good.
Drop, your glorious muscles have helped us all so greatly in our time of need. We thank you.
Yes, verily. Yes.
Comes out with pride.
Seeing the bones, I'll use divine sense to detect undead. Detect
60 feet.
Okay.
No feet.
Sarah would notice if she's looking around. I'm eyeing you with a bit of a look.
What? Caleb, you there? You checking in?
Yeah.
You okay?
Ran on a little bit thick there, weren't you?
What are you talking about? What? As someone who enjoys being called, you know, a grand savior and what was it? The god of an entire barbarian nation. I think you would, you know, you'd be able to tell, I'm sure.
Drop does not consider himself thick.
No, Truck is very thick in the best way possible.
It's a compliment. Trust me. It's a good thing.
It depends on how it's spelled.
Oh. Drop does not spell.
Just trust me. It's okay. We appreciate you. You are the thickest.
Drop the thick. Left side of the thunder. There's a nice ring to it. Very well. Climb aboard Drop's thick body, and I shall take you to shore. Not so fast, Iviagus.
I'm going first. And she like pushes anybody away and sort of just puts her there. Like this.
I also climb aboard.
No.
Actually, no. I'm just gonna steal Caleb.
I go with it.
But what a shame. Your wings don't work. Come away.
Could someone pass me my fig?
Oh, is that thing? That thing's coming. Oh no.
Like shaking water off.
Pull behind you.
Slipping it over one shoulder, he's like off to the side of you, he's kind of like pushing you away from her. Oh god.
Russell, all aboard?
Fine. You didn't have to take us all at once.
I am thickest.
It takes him about a minute because he's really encumbered at this point and exhausted, but he manages to get to the shoreline. And no sooner does she get close enough that Fury sort of like pries her arm off her and sort of jumps off you onto the ground and sort of just pushes you away. She's like going,
Yeah, and sweaty by the time I get to the shore.
oh god, what?
What
What is that smell? This one does.
Sorry, Iviagus.
I've just been sitting on the shore waiting.
Yeah.
As soon as Russell gets put down, he walks away. Shake.
No, please.
So Dungeon Master, now
Water is not good.
we're on this beach now, and there's this piles of bones, kind of lots of, not a small number, but kind of dead with bones.
It's actually, you almost realise, without an investigation check, it's not sand.
What is it?
The granularity of it is too big for it to be sand. You kind of grab a hand and you realise it's just smashed up bones.
I guess a little bit of.
I mean, if it sticks to your tongue, it is fun.
This is some kind of dumping ground for them. Who else is going to be?
They both were not bodies, what we saw.
You don't think?
What?
So, searching through the bones, looking for. What was the
Silver.
yeah, or the rounder guy?
Oh, because you know the corpse was in the butchery. It hasn't had a chance to come.
Yeah, I really
And decompose things. He definitely looked like he still had his bones in his body in the butchery. Yeah, it's just, yeah, he wasn't a deboned corpse.
I gotta admit, when you were describing Bingus hung up and knowing Bingus, I did immediately think drunken chicken.
Yeah.
But Drunk continues to search through the beach looking for somebody he recognised.
Okay, make an investigation check. Does anybody else wish to make an investigation check? Seeing Drook feverishly going through the bone beach.
I have a word to help everyone.
We'll do this first.
18 -1, 17.
17. You sift through as much as you can, but you do not find anybody that you would recognize. There's a couple of skulls that are probably the right size, but you just don't know. Yeah.
This is the other side to where we can get out, isn't it?
Yes.
So it's like, how will the bones get here though? It's the dumping bones. It's too far away to be their pile. Their pile will be straight under the feet. Bones which can be coming from that way.
Thanks to your trick, it's really difficult to understand where you actually are in relation to where you've come from. But that is a good observation.
I look like I'm like really trying to think hard about it, but there's like nothing going on.
You're like picking out the skull doing the Shakespeare thing.
Is there any way off the island, or is it just up to the cave?
No, there is two cavern exits on this level. The embankment, yeah, it's not very big. It's only about 60 feet or so. And you can see more intact sort of bone structures and piles leading into the cavern. So it's like it's being pushed out, coming onto the embankment, and the water is slowly degrading them, turning them into bone sand.
Do we see any like driftwood or anything around? You know, just bones, nothing.
Bones.
You know, like
Completely picked clean. There's no gear.
we've got the cart, and then we just have bones.
Yep.
And there's
then-
stone walls or something like you know,
Yes.
and a couple of paths leading off.
Yeah, and her dark vision distance, Russell can see up above you guys. The bridge exits into a tunnel, but it's 100 feet up.
Right. Okay. I continue to look up somewhere.
Caleb, come, let's have a look at this thing over here.
I follow over.
How wonderful. It's It's lovely. This bone stacked on top of this wall here. So, look, I'm trying to be nice to Druck. It's been through a lot. And just because I wouldn't normally express myself that extravagantly doesn't mean that it's not in a way that he would appreciate more. Okay? I'm not entirely harmless, even if you do irritate the shit out of me. I did heal you, to be fair. I've been carrying you this entire time.
And I don't deign to speak, but I point and I cast message. And I'm like, if I were you, I'd save me too. I see what you're doing here.
Sure.
Protect my boy.
No, he's yours. It's fine. It's fine. I'm perfectly okay. Hey, Druck! Do you want to carry him on for a while?
The Great Spirit,
He can give you a hand.
I will be honored.
Yeah, he's hurt really badly at the moment. His wings aren't working.
The Great Spirit cannot be hurt.
I'm sure that he would love a hand from you.
If he chooses not to fly this as he wills it.
It is as I will it.
Great Spirit, may I be your ride?
Yes.
They shovel him up a whole bunch of bones.
I should have looked back over my shoulder. I said, I should look back.
Maybe you should. What?
That's the look. Did you hear the sound that look made?
Yeah.
What was that?
Yes.
Big donation.
100 bits.
Oh, nice.
Awesome.
Thanks whoever did that. Appreciate it.
I was a D&D guy.
Hey.
Oh, D&D guy, I remember you from
We appreciate that, guys.
Yeah.
Cheers, peeps.
Sorry, finish your appreciation.
You get inspiration.
Oh,
At this rate, everybody's gonna get inspiration except mine.
Make a note for that.
Special alert when Mike gets inspiration.
No, we're gonna need it.
You're right. Waste of air. Waste of people power.
Yeah, this place is kind of nice. We can make this work, you know. But it's just at home down here.
Great Spirit, away from the sky,
It's not ideal.
away from the thunder and the rain.
It's not ideal, but. It's only the food's probably further down here than we thought.
I understand what you say. There's a challenge for Druck to find his way out, to bring you all to the surface where we may feel the caress of the storms once again. Thank you, Great Spirit, for inspiring me.
Give me a little. Seriously, I want some breakfast.
Well, there doesn't seem to be anything around here. And we've got two exits. One goes to the right, one goes to the left.
I mean, downstream's gonna be easy to get to.
I fear either of these holes look like wasted photos. We may be heading up, yes, but not to safety. Back to, as we say in my tribe, square one. We have a lot of squares.
I admire the precision.
Well, I don't really mind where we go. I just wanted breakfast and I found you guys.
You are hungry, I understand.
I don't remember what for me.
So the area, what, why?
Why are you all here? I fixed everyone a look. Because I don't actually No, literally, I'm asking, why are you here?
In a moment of weakness, great spirit, I allowed my companions to be taken by these beings, buried off to their larder. These others,
I was just hanging out in a forest, and they jumped me, and now I'm bloody here.
nobody believes that for a second.
Right. Well, it's true.
You don't really look like the forest. I will say.
No.
You definitely look like the.
I'm a long way from Silvervale, thank you very much, but I'm not. I was doing stuff, I was foraging, and the Unos jumped me when I was camping.
Definitely a club.
You know what though? That's actually honestly not too far from what happened to me. I suppose I'm treating myself a bit by
Second bars.
I mean, it was near some imperial town called Redland.
Hey, one question. Same club, we?
We were. Same time. In Redland.
Where I was assigned. Didn't know it was that close. We placed that school there. Those dancing in the moonlight.
I'm not
Consorting knolls and things.
Why?
What?
Even I know that's not true. And I'm thick.
the thickest.
So thick. But seriously, what the hell is the plan? What are we doing?
Confidence, bird. What are you here, bird? Hmm?
And I lean as far as like over as I can off of Dark's shoulder.
I was with her. We came here together.
Forest clubbing. Clubbing in the forest. It may seem not like wisdom, but the forest needs two doors. I don't give a shit which door we go through because I just came for breakfast and met with you lot.
So thanks for 3 doors.
We could go up. I'm not scanning that.
The point remains. The point remains. Which door you pick depends where you go. What you want to achieve. Me, breakfast.
He wants breakfast. I want to get the absolute hell out of here. 9 hells out of here.
We definitely came the wrong way for that because this don't lead nowhere.
What do you mean there's nothing out here?
They could go anywhere.
I've been here before. Pretty sure don't go anyway. It's dark. We should just camp here, live here, stay here. Worship me. Worship Calor.
What about on the count of 3 and we'll point in direction that we want to go?
Oh, that works. 1, 2, 3.
So you're pointing
Downstream.
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 And Theore's pointing at like the right passageway. Bruce pointing at different directions. Which way you point at? The left passageway?
Probably downstream too.
Back downstream, yeah. Downstream. And you're saying stay here. Yeah. Well, shit. Is that 3? Are you saying we're back out into the creepy water?
Sorry, Russell.
The blood did nothing. We might be safe.
Look at it this way, if you're. We've been up there. Didn't do us any good. We've come a long way to go down here. We're at least gonna have to backtrack to where we were. This may lead somewhere else, somewhere new.
Yeah, that's true. I don't want us to have to go and deal with that woman.
You see me shut up when you mention Eric Arena.
See, he gets it.
You're on my shoulder when you did that?
Yeah, he's just like. I don't know what's going on. She's becoming more bestial each time we meet her. I've been here a lot longer.
I haven't seen much. I don't know why she hasn't done anything with me. That was taken some 30 days ago, by my count.
Can I insight check that?
Go for it.
13.
30 days. Seems truthful.
My hand goes from pointing down to pointing the same direction that Fiore was pointing. Because
The right passage, right?
yeah, because in my head it takes us further away from the person I am now deathly fearing of. Hop off, drop shoulder. Nice. Walk over to you.
What are you doing?
Agreeing with you.
Why?
No. Sniper.
Don't you get away from me. It's kind of like he kicks at you with that foot and tries to move away. Look, I'm absolutely exhausted. What's the harm in us just camping here for a bit? I mean, she like presses down on the ground, and you can kind of make yourself a little burrow and not be sleeping on. It's not hard per se. It's a little pointy. Slept on worse.
You're not wrong.
One problem may be we've come down a single minecart track that empties out here. If I were looking for us, there's only one place that we would be.
We have to get some sort of rest. We can't just keep moving.
Can I point to the Hotel de Minecart?
Which is still like in the water.
Yeah, 30 feet out. Beach. In the shallows.
Check out the tunnels and see if there are any alcoves or any bone place.
I mean, that's not a bad option. I just don't want to fight anything else. I'm completely tapped.
I'm exhausted.
At least here we know there's no threat. Currently.
Look, there was nothing around us. At least anything that would respond to blood, right? And they would have to come down the 100 feet from up there without a minecart for the moment from a collapsed passage. They've at least got a bit of clearing to do before they come up. We didn't pass any other passages, did we?
I mean, it was going too quick for me to know.
I didn't see any. Look, if we run into anything, if we move anywhere else, I'm going to be useless. I can probably get myself out of the situation, but there is no way that I'm picking someone up off the floor. Or picking someone up off the floor.
At the moment, we are spending more energy debating about resting
Then resting.
than we would be getting back for resting. So, let us camp.
Okay, fine, agreed. That's rest.
Just make it up to kill the war.
Your wisdom runs true every time, Great Spirit.
I'll drop a deep bow.
Who wants to take watch then?
For waiting.
Watches. Look, I only need to sleep 4 hours. I can do half of most of your races.
We can stagger it. Maybe do how many do we need? Who's asleep on their feet is the first one. Yep.
I'm half unconscious.
He's been talking from a different body experience through his own body. I don't even know where I am anymore.
Look, I'll take first watch.
Is it worth bodying enough, just in case?
It would definitely be handy.
There's 6 of us. A couple of us have. You and I only need to sleep for 4 hours. Trance. Maybe you take one of these others, and then I can do one at the end, and then that way you and I switch over, and at least one of us is on with any of the other 4.
I don't know if that will work for me. I need a little bit more sleep than that.
I can at least take one so you can get some rest.
I'm already I'm literally collapsed on the bony shore like a boat.
He's already out, so he's not first. Maybe I'll go first then, and then you go at the end, and we'll extend it by a little bit.
Okay. So we're up against a rock wall.
Yeah.
So I can do something that will allow us a little bit more comfort, perhaps. Look. No, never mind. Never mind. No components. No cloak.
Yep.
Stupid stuff.
I do like that realization that she's like, yeah, I could no. Literally have no material components and no arcane focus.
Never take it for granted.
I mean, you keep in mind that you would have noticed that I have all my stuff.
Yes.
So there is now a little sleepy, half unconscious, mostly broken, can't even fly, fairy, nestled on the ground, sleeping peacefully, who has all who started recruiting.
Like taking candy from a baby.
The 60-foot of Amar.
He's actually half the size of the
Yes.
It's very fitting.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, well. Are you going to fight me? I just gave him my shoulder.
The Great Spirit.
Yes. The Great Spirit is lovely and benevolent, isn't he? He would want us to succeed.
I shall not bear a hand on you. However, I shall not intervene should he be distressed from his personal belonging to be pilfered.
That's fine. I can punch a fairy.
The Great Spirit is fighting not to defend himself.
Yes, absolutely. And I'll start pulling out in tiny component pouches, looking for a. See if you have any tiny bells and pieces of fine silver wire.
I don't know. I actually don't have a component because I have a dagger which has a ruby of the war mage fused to it, which you would find on me, which is what I use as my arcane focus, and so that is something you take from me.
I love the idea that she was looking, found a component pouch, reached in, scattered.
No, she reaches in and goes, and like pulls it inside out and goes.
I love the idea that no, it's just that my hands fused into this. It's like, wait.
Oh no.
Okay, no, never mind. I definitely can't do anything. What it is
Is the dagger too?
Arcane focus is specifics. Yeah, they can't be used by other mages because you tune it to your spellcasting capability.
It's got a fingerprint scanner on it.
Yeah.
But like there is actually like for all my talk about foods, by food I actually do have some rations.
We need the
That's in
Iviagus sees the rations fall out and just the grapple starts eating.
There's a stuff in my armor.
I'm not alive.
Are we? Are those? Is that trail mix? Did he have trail mix on him?
maybe.
How many perfect plans does he have?
Very fast.
She's not very subtle as she grabs one of them and starts opening it up and just eating it. It's like berry sized. Yeah. She's just like,
Okay, well, look, yeah, I'll take that.
Alright, I'll tail end. As soon as you need, I think everybody else needs to at least do a watch. We need to have 2 people on. You went first with her? Alright.
Come on, Russell.
Fiore finds a bit of a spot, shuffles down, throws the two legs over each other into like a bit of a meditative state, and then sort of.
It's probably best you dry your feathers off before you go to sleep.
She's out. Wait, she's trancing?
She's trancing.
Like she did with the button?
Yeah.
It's so long. Oh my god.
Is that why you were smiling?
Oh, the joy I felt when you said, we go trance.
I can't say that. I'll try to do it on my analysis.
That would be the most like awful mundane torture.
Yeah, it keeps them awake.
It's about as good as like, you know, using prestidigitation just keeps someone's mouth dry the entire time.
Oh!
Yeah.
That's awful.
Oh!
Yes. So
100% of the spells on a in the game can be used as some form of torture, either by just being fireball or something else that would pretty much be worse. Alright, we have you two on watch. I will get you guys to do a perception check. You can either help one another or you can roll individual checks.
I got a 6.
So you were rolling separate.
I got a 10.
10?
I see very little.
Middle of the road.
The stillness of the cave, the openness of the cavern, there's a slight coldness, chills you. Every so often you hear a ripple, water lapping against the bridge. Somebody shifting in their sleep, bones crunching, snoring, that echoes ever so loudly. A sigh from Fiora, who's trying to trance and keeps getting interrupted. Putting her headphones back in. 2 hours of your watch, everything's still, everything's quiet, and it goes without issue.
Okay. Who's up next?
Guys did not discuss that, so whoever, I think Druk actually, Druk was one or two of them.
Druk? Come on, up we go.
1 more minute, mummy.
We have great need of our most glorious dragonborn. And I have great need of sleep.
I have warmed this backdrop and roof here. Feel free to use it.
You know what? As clear as that is, I will. I'll just pull the feather duder on top of me.
Oh, you mean confidence bird?
Yeah. Come here, Russell.
I love this duet.
His arm just
You snuggle up with your traveling companion from the old days, and the two of you manage to fall asleep quite quickly. Druk, roll me a perception check. I guess it's just you.
Perception. Is that a dirty 20?
Dirty 20.
That's 17 plus 3 for those playing at home.
Druk. You experience the same stillness. The lapping of waves, the snoring, the crunching of bone from moving individuals, the chill to the air, the yawning cavern is just immense. Your eyes don't see anything apart from the little islands as the water sort of laps up against the shoreline, against the metal of the minecart. Then you hear something, probably about an hour in. This.
I sidle over to Iviagus and give him a dink dink on his plate mail with the edge of my bottom of my spear.
It may be nothing heavy, but it may be company.
I describe the sound I heard to Iviagus.
Do a perception check with advantage. Hello? You hear nothing.
With a 4 on guidance.
Oh,
I don't hear anything.
Oh, it's heavy. It's a scuttle. It's a scuttle.
It's nothing.
As he immediately goes back to sleep, you're trained to hear what it is. You hear it again. There's this.
did it sound closer?
Not closer, but you now, see hearing it the second time, realize where it's coming from. It's coming from one of the passageways behind you.
I take a hesitant step towards the passageway.
Dark vision lights up the cavern tunnel. There's bone on the ground, but you don't see anything. At regular intervals, you hear that very soft.
Take another step towards the passageway.
It's a moment where your foot hits the ground and you step on bone, and it makes not a similar sound, but a crunching sound. You kind of hear them, and then 2 seconds later, that noise again from the tunnel. You realize it's coming from the right hand one. It's not getting any closer.
I take a third and final step towards the tunnel to see if I can make out anything. Anything at all.
Are you going up to the mouth of it to look around?
Yeah, sure.
So your third step takes you right at the tunnel. You kind of look around the corner, and in the darkness, you can see it right at the edge of your 60 feet. The tunnel sort of like curves ever so slightly, but it's more or less straight. Its base is completely littered with these bleached white bones, now even more white because of your black and white dark vision. There's something at the edge. A creature hunched over, its back to you. You can see matted fur, and it's sort of like moving like this, and you can see an arm sort of going up like this, and there's that sound again as it moves its arm, and its sort of head twists like that and comes back. You realize it's eating one of the bones.
Who do I have near me?
Iviagus.
I can reach down and clap my hand over Iviagus' mouth, leaving his nose free.
Ivy, wake up now. Down there is a beast eating bones. Keep watch while I wake the others. Do not engage.
Iviagus, do you approach the tunnel?
To the edge of the town. Yeah, I'm going in.
At that point, you then hear the same sound. It's much better echoing through the tunnel. It kind of loses a bit of audio strength when it leaves, so you didn't hear it before. But now that you're right there, you can hear that something gnawing on a bone.
Awake girls first. Sorry, wait, is Russell male or female?
No, he's a
No,
gotcha.
sorry. Awake these two first.
You wake the chicks first.
With respect.
Yay.
I'll leave the Great Spirit until last. I explain everything I explained to Iviagus to them and put them in the right direction before I, go to what is effectively like a bag full of loose changing bells, which I'm about to wake up. That's Caliban.
disputable. There seems to be a bit of a problem.
Yeah, it's all right, we.
We could really use your help with this right now. If you don't mind, if I'm not disturbing you. There appears to be a bone creature down that hall, eating bones.
I sit up.
Yeah. Back up.
I say quietly, very quietly.
No, I mean, conceptually.
That's good, like, physically. It's like, I mean. He's like, yes, boss.
Who are you and why am I here?
You are, of course, the Great Spirit.
I can roll with that.
You are overseeing a small band of weak mortal fools with your great benevolence,
I can roll with that.
while taking respite. A creature has approached your territory. It appears to be eating bones down that hole there.
Has it bothered us yet?
No, but because it is eating something, I thought you might like to know.
My stomach does grumble.
Thank you.
I start, my wings are working again, and I start to flap over in the direction of the creature
Oh,
that's
no.
eating my breakfast.
Oh no.
I see that. I stop when I see this one.
Yeah, he's just standing at the entrance of the tunnel, and at that point, you two also hit the sound.
I hear I'm in charge of this whole thing. Bang for me.
Dare you charge? Right enough, go back up.
Official Imperium representative.
Yeah,
Is she alright?
you look cringe. You're like,
How much of a rest did we get?
so, nothing.
Does it count as a short
Yeah,
rest?
that spell slip back.
Doesn't it even count as a short rest?
No.
Oof.
You about spell 3 points to get a spell slip.
Yeah, that means like, okay. Can I see how strong the creature looks? I'm looking it up because I can see.
You
some
have
of
to
it.
look up, yeah.
Yeah. So I kind of just quietly try to come around, like, see if I can see this thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's at 60 feet, so, like, it doesn't seem to be reacting with the movement. You're not particularly stealthing, but it seems really intent on what it is. Did you do a perception check? See what you can look.
Nothing.
It's hard to really take out. It's right on the edge of your dark vision, so it's hard to really make out any details of it. You just can see the form, and you know it seems to be gnawing on something. It's got its back to you guys.
My comrades. Trying to think of a sort of like a word where I don't say anything that sounds too critical. Although it's pretty clear that I think of you as minions. I'm
I feel better, but not good. I'm not going anywhere near that thing. It's not that I'm scared of it.
Of course, no, of course.
You. Bird,
Yes.
can you go get me some breakfast? From that thing?
I look at Drook.
I thought you said I was in charge.
You are a great spirit.
Fiore, right next to him is just shaking it.
What I usually do if someone I'm in charge of doesn't do as I ask?
What do you normally do?
I'm just hypothetical. I'm kind of quizzing you here. You know.
Based on past experience, you use thinly veiled threats on their personage.
Yeah, sounds about right.
I fix you with the look.
He's not
Right, I'm gonna go back and lie down.
intimidated.
If none of us feel able to take on this foe or feel like it is worth the risk of combat, perhaps SS minecart?
I'm still waking up.
So if you leave, is anybody actively looking down the tunnel?
Constantly.
You're at the tunnel, but you can't see, right?
Listening.
Oh, you don't have dark vision? How close am I to the tunnel, sorry?
As close as you can.
I'm probably next to him. Okay, can I see in there perfectly?
Nothing.
Well, you can see as well as everybody else with the dark vision, but I'll get you to do a perception check.
30-20.
30-20, nice. You peek around the corner and have a look. Your dark vision obviously extends much further, so you're able to get a much better, clearer view of this thing. You realize it's probably about the same size as a knoll. It has matted fur on the back. Then you recognize it's missing flesh near the base of the back of its ribs. They're completely exposed. There doesn't seem to be any organs really dangling from that area, indicating it might be hollow or they had decayed away. Its legs are a combination of muscle sinew, patches of fur, and exposed bone. And as you stare, you watch it put down a bone, and it seems to be a femur of some description that's eaten up to a certain section. It puts it down, and it sort of turns, and you catch a glimpse of yellow in the eye, glowing. And its face, a skull, but as it fully turns, you realize the other side is flesh. As the creature looks in your direction and stops, it has noticed you.
So Russell is kind of frozen as he's looking. Iviagus.
What is it?
What?
It saw us.
What? Okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
Its head, what is it? Tilts to the side. Tilts back.
He'll try not to move.
I'm gonna try and pick up a bone
Mm.
and cast light and throw it into the tunnel away from us to see if it goes after
Like behind.
it. So towards it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, to try and get it past it.
Yeah.
Okay. Make an attack roll.
Kind of like doggy fetch, like
Yeah.
The light explodes out from this bone, and you watch as Iviagus runs into the tunnel and pegs it down. 15 gets past it, and it sort of just goes straight past. It kind of illuminates the tunnel and then drops behind it. Now you really can't see. It's just a silhouette of black with the light coming right
That
behind
is
it.
terrifying.
But you do see the two yellow eyes still staring at you from the darkness. It starts to just slowly
Like,
just
Russell hasn't
bobbing,
moved
moving,
yet. He's just like,
and then like
not fight.
slowly moving, and then it speaks. Hello.
Russell kind of
Sort of scampering across. It's probably gone about 15 feet forward.
Hello there.
How loudly does it speak?
It was relatively loudly. People would have heard a hello. It was common too.
Russell kind of responds with his mimicry in the same sort of tone and like raspiness. Just respond to him. Hello. I cannot.
That's already
No,
good.
that's fine.
I can't.
It's good. It kind of like goes like this little head bob. And sort of like crooks its head a little bit. You watch a little bit of like ooze come out that side of the face, and it sort of just goes, "Who are you? Why here? Steal."
No, not steal.
Kind of looks down, grabs like another looks like an arm bonus description. Not sure if it's a section of this section. Picks it up and sort of like skitters a little bit forward, and then hands it out and goes, "Want to eat?"
Take the bone.
He'll take it out of politeness. He
It like skitters a little bit forward and like gives it to you.
not exactly sure how to gnaw on it, but he just kind of pecks at it like,
Yeah, just goes,
thank you very much.
"Good food."
Very good food.
Grabs another one and starts like,
He kind
"Grand
of
bones.
Oh,
Grand bones."
just like lick it.
Eat that until it gets like a dog, like a
I'm trying to be our friend.
nice. Oh, why here? If no steel.
Well, we found the water. We were swimming out and we found this island. So you showed us out. Up.
Up. Place like left.
So Siren will sort of quietly kind of make her way over at this point in time.
You just kind of see Russell nibbling on a
Yeah, it's like, what is going on?
made a friend.
Eat. Hands and the burn out to you.
They do not eat. They can.
Is this an obligation, or we get in trouble, I guess?
Just pretend. Like, look at us. I don't know.
Siren will, basically just, the size of her jaw kind of expand ever so slightly, and she's like, great. And you'll notice that it's just slightly larger, kind of like almost herbivore style, like crunching teeth. Fantastic.
Who are you? Yes, please.
Who is
Who is you?
you? You.
Name?
Name.
I am Russell.
Russell. Name.
This is like speaking to E.T.
I just said, Russell.
Russell.
What's the eyes? Russell. Name. Eat.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Hold up.
Jesus Christ. Oh God, he's back.
Oh no.
Oh.
Bone. Pulls out the one in his mouth and goes, "Bone?" Just double check the score.
I can't tell for like narrowly avoiding death or making a friend?
Yes.
Why not?
Inside check.
Inside check the
Can
video.
I actually see if it seems hostile
Do an
at
insight.
all?
Yeah.
Because this is cool. That is dirty 20.
No. Whatever this creature is, it seems quite neutral. You do get a sense that it's done as bricks, which is par for the course, but you're not sure, like, there seems to be some magic behind it. Those eyes, it's a corpse. It's a gnoll corpse, but it's very degraded. Very feral in appearance. Doesn't carry itself like a gnoll. It carries itself like something that would skitter around more like a hyena, like on four legs. Seems much happier as it sort of moves around like that. I'm more than welcome for anybody with proficiency in the skill to either do a nature or a arcana check. Who's awake?
Just checking.
I will definitely try a nature
We're
check.
making a friend. A bone friend.
So that
You're
would
all
be-
apparently also called Russell.
Yes.
Russell, name.
Name.
Jesus Christ. You're Russell now.
Russell.
16. Now, it's probably a little bit out of nature's purview, as a creature like this is normally a perversion of nature, but you have heard of gnoll creatures that when they die can be resurrected as a witherling.
And do I know anything about the process of resurrection, or
No,
how
that'd
they
be
come about?
full arcana
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah, but you're aware of this perversion of nature.
So I'm basically just aware that they exist. That's about it.
That's pretty much it.
Feels fairly rude to call it to its face. Also considering it sounds diminutive. Just like, do you remember? Do you know before?
Jesus Christ.
Before what's left again?
He's finding left a lot.
Starts snoring on its finger.
Not bone.
Russell hands him a bone and
Yeah,
sticks his
just-
finger. For you.
Do you know out?
Out.
Always here or sometimes out?
Here. Points behind him. Out.
Out.
Points in front. Out. Towards the other tunnel. Out. Here. So like skitters are past you, looking out. Sees the little thing on the ground. Sees the big dragon.
Bye.
Big. Like grabs like a rib cage. Food.
Good.
Yes.
Maybe,
Yes.
He kind of like skitters across the bone sand up to like the water and sort of like looks out and goes and points out and just goes, out.
Out. Good out.
Good. And he just like skitters back towards the tunnel, starts heading back down, and he basically goes out, and the tunnel you can see veers off to the left, and he just skitters and disappears around the corner.
Is this where I really hope it has a concept of good and evil?
What did the tunnel go into? The left
The
or the
right one.
So one was
The one that was right, and it is right. So it goes away from the left tunnel and the bridge.
All I said was good. Are we following this thing?
We don't have much of a choice.
I mean, we can stay here, but it seems to think good was that way. But also food, so
I mean, at the very least, might have more tasty bones.
There's like a bit of meat still on the bone. It's like jackpot.
No, where he grabs them from, they're completely picked clean. They're like bleached. They're starting to degrade from just the water, moisture, and stuff like that.
Are you eating that, Russell?
Scarlet's completely asleep.
Yeah, he's like he's trying to get rested. Like, have I slept long for a rest yet?
No.
He's completely just trying to. He's completely asleep.
I'm going to gently scoop the fairy.
I'm going to gently scoop the feed.
Can I just say that anytime I help this guy, he's unconscious.
He giggles in his sleep. It's horrendous and creepy.
No, don't do that again. That's. I thought he was worse when he was awake, but that's.
They smell remarkably good for something that looks so dirty.
You smell baby powder. You're just a tiny delinquent child at this point.
Yeah. So he does look like the hobo gnome.
But yeah, so in that case, I'm going to scoop a fairy. Apparently that's a small child now. If I find any scraps of cloth, I'm 100% making like a little swaddle.
You and him with feet can do twinsies.
Yeah.
Or like a parent couple days.
Yeah. One's cocked out, you know. Permanently, but that's different.
And I'm fine, yours is firm. And I'll just make the kind of helpless and walk that way.
Right. We'll follow it. Follow for a while. It winds and turns. The creature has stopped. As soon as you get around the corner and a bit of an S-bend, you come to another sort of junction. There's a wide junction, sort of branches off, and you can see it off to the left, just waiting there. And sort of like bobs its head, kind of like a bird-like creature or something like that, and then starts skittering away down the passageway that's chosen.
Yeah.
Again, the ground, the crunch of your feet as you trudge through these tunnels, the ground is completely littered with bones. You also notice as you get further and further along, it gets deeper and deeper, to a point where, for most of you, it's at knee height. As you're sort of trudging along, it's a mismatch of broken stuff to free-form skeletal structures. Some of you might be able to sort of stand on top of the ground, but the other ones with a little bit more weight would be crushing down into the bones and actually sort of trudging through it, kind of like breaking through snow.
Yeah.
Tasty snow.
Tasty snow, yeah, and there's this sickening like crunch of bone as you take each step from Drook. It skitters basically along the wall and the ground. After a little bit further, it exits out into another cave. This cavern sort of like veers around the corner, and you realize that the bodies in this section have some flesh on them. But they're relatively picked clean.
Yeah.
It gets better and better until eventually there is a huge mound at the center of this space. There is a soft glow to this cavern. A mossy algae has caked up the walls. There's a bit of humidity.
to this place. You can hear off in the distance running water, perhaps a stream or the lake itself. But the mound of bodies is sitting directly underneath an enormous hole in the ceiling. The creature sort of runs up, gets top of the mound, points upwards, and goes, "Up. Good. Out." What are you guys doing?
How far is it to the top?
You look up through the cabin. Your dark vision seems to not show you how tall it is.
I give him a bone and thanks.
Good job.
It like skitters down the mound and just.
Does he seem interested in Fig at all?
Too much meat.
Later.
He like sniffs it.
Eat.
Later. For now.
Fiore the whole time has just been silently watching, a bit like wide-eyed, just saying nothing. She's just like.
Sometimes it's just easier if you roll it.
Yeah.
Apparently,
I'm not even-
seeing down here.
Remember when I said we're going to die down here? I'm getting that real strong sense more and more as we get closer and closer to wherever this thing's taking us.
I roll over lazily and swaddle and just like sort of flop a leg and an arm out. I'm like,
Where are we? Out. Good. Good. Jesus Christ.
when I see this creature, this is the first time I've seen the whole thing.
That's true. That's
My
true.
eyes are just like this sort of. They're saying, you know, what the heck in like not so uncertain terms, but I say nothing looking at this creature.
It's like.
But everybody seems relaxed, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Not exactly. Fiore's kind of like there. She's like fully like.
Yeah, look. On edge, but
Unnerved.
Yeah.
It's
also not
a normal thing.
It's a little bit serious anyway.
Apparently, up is good. Your interpretation of goods depends on them.
It keeps snoring, and then after a few seconds, there is a noise. Something far above you. You hear this grinding of metal.
Did it come from the hole?
Yeah, up in the hole. So the hole from the pile's top, this mountain of bodies, which are in various states of decay, missing limbs, all that kind of stuff. You're looking at 80 feet. Well, most of you can see with your dark vision, 60 feet.
Yeah.
There's this loud clang, and then the rushing of something. Sounds like something's falling. And a few seconds later, the creature who hears this throws the thing and sort of rushes up to the base, and it's just like, and these bodies just go. And come like careening down, slamming into the top of the mound. A couple of them bouncing off as they slam down, and then the creature immediately jumps on one of them and starts tearing body parts away, and sort of looks at you, mouth now full of like gore, and just goes, "Good."
Do they have any gear on them still?
You know.
Don't know, or
No, there's no gear on them. They're completely picked clean. But naked.
And what kind of books?
Do a investigation check or a perception check for me, depending
No,
on if
no,
you're touching or looking.
Okay, so Russell, you can see well in the dark, right?
Very well.
Would you like to help me try and figure out what's going on up
I can try.
there? I would like to request 8 on this check.
Yeah, do an event. Do an event.
The art style they're doing.
I love that. So that is an 18.
18. Couple bodies, different things. You do recognize one of them. You vaguely think it was maybe one of the bodies from the butchery, but you're not 100% sure. It was in various states of decay. You know it wasn't the one that Drook was getting upset about.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
when you came into that space, there could be it. There's a couple elven humanoids. They're fair folk generally, nothing monstrous. But from your investigation, you take a good stark look around. There are thousands of corpses here.
No, I'm processing that detail later. I can afford to break it down. Okay, so sort of wander back away from the pile. Take a second, breathe deeply. What? I'm really glad I didn't eat breakfast. I'm still hungry. I'm sure you are.
At this point, I flex my wings and I flutter around the room.
Did you say hungry? So this little creature sort of comes skittering up. And he goes, hungry.
Yeah?
Eat. And he just, at what looks to be just a pile of giblets. Food good.
Is there like any sign in this room that there's been like an oven, like cooking, like is there, is there like
I will say to you, check no. It's a dumping ground of whatever is going on here, and
does there look like there'd be anything that would be sufficient nearby to
Like a fish on fire on the corner.
I want to basically try to find somewhere to start a small fire to cook the proper giblets.
I mean, if you move down to one of the tunnels, you can move a few of the bone piles away, and that'd be ground. It doesn't seem too bad, and then you can cook, fire up a little bit of fire.
I'll take the giblets and I'll kind of like start looking around the room as there's this thing in the ceiling, right? But it's in the room.
Yeah, large cave sort of space, and there's the tunnel where you guys came from, and then there's various other tunnels at different sort of intervals that branch off.
Oh, okay, so multiple tunnels.
Yeah, there's probably at least 12 or something.
All ground level?
Various levels. Some of them are up higher, and then some of them are down on the ground.
Yeah, I'm going to double down on trying to create a small camp oven of some description to cook the giblets.
Okay. You go do that. The creature doesn't seem to be bothered. Goes back to the corpse that it was sort of rummaging through. There is not a lot on these when they come. They're pretty well picked clean, but it seems a couple of sections are consistently left on them that they haven't eaten.
Yeah.
So I'm essentially buying time to work out where the heck I am and why the heck I'm here at the moment. So I've got this food, I am hungry, and so because as best anyone can tell, the hit from Barracarina has completely, he was already batshit crazy at this point, unsure of why he was there to begin with, but now he just seems to have lost all sense of self.
Yeah.
Is there any sense, like, is there this whole ceiling, there's a bunch of tunnels. There's nothing really around that's like, there's no signage, writing, nothing that would suggest.
No, it very much feels like this is real deep, and you're actually not familiar with this area.
And because surely something or someone would have had to have dug these things. So the passageways, right? They look, well-hewn stone, like where perhaps it is.
No, it's definitely what's the word for it? Sedition, not sedition.
It's being run off by probably water and stuff, and you can hear running water somewhere.
Yeah, erosion. Yeah.
Yeah, erosion.
Okay, so I'm gonna lay on thick an air of nonchalance while I try to cook my giblets, but I am deeply unsure of who I am and why I'm here and where we are.
Barry's cooking the giblets. You smell burning flesh as he roasts them over a small fire that he's concocted. What is the rest of you guys doing?
I don't think we'd be able to smell anything else over the rest of the room
Yeah.
anyway.
Well, that's true. Yeah.
Not sort
It's now just like everything's happening.
Yeah.
I'm gonna walk a perimeter.
I'll have a look in the cave openings and see where there's way afterwards.
It's hard to tell, they all branch off in different directions and stuff like that. However, I will get you two to make survival checks. See what we get.
I will continue to try and basically make contact and kind of speak to
Either a 1 or a 20.
speak to our new friend.
Yeah. He seems pretty intent on what he's doing, so you get a lot less out of him while he's munching away. What did you get?
I'd like to ask my cool first.
23.
23?
Natural 20.
Natural 29.
Nice.
I'm sorry, you got a really good number, and I feel like I've just stolen your
For a
throat.
total
We get this? 23.
The two of you definitely pinpoint the tunnel that you hear the running water. You've got some tunnels have more bones sort of strewn out from the central area than others. And there's a couple on the far side that you do feel less smell and a bit of breeze.
Same ones with the running water?
No, different one.
So we've got running water, less smell, and more bones.
Yeah.
and breeze. Did you say breeze?
There's breeze with the less smell ones. Like when it wafts in, you feel that breeze. You don't smell too much stench. It kind of washes that stench away from you.
I think I'm smart enough to make that connection.
Something in party.
Does the running water sound like it's close?
Pretty much, yeah. Yeah, it could be only maybe a little bend away type thing. But
I'm just like, I resemble that remark.
Any form of touch to the body wouldn't be that.
I do not have
Fail a lot of intelligence checks early
A moment of inspiration strikes me as I'm cooking my giblets,
Hate that word.
and I light one of my torches.
Yep.
So I need a small fairy torch, and I dart up.
Yeah.
I take wing and I dart up the giblet tube,
Yep.
looking up
Stop
as I go, trying to see
saying words.
how high, how far it goes.
So that tunnel goes 200 feet up. Your light does get all sides. It's only about 20 feet across, so even with your tiny little match, you get enough light to
So it's like quite wide.
it's 20 feet in diameter. Yeah. This one looks like it's been bored out. Perhaps mining equipment. You know that above you is a mine of some description. You actually know it's a dwarven mine, an abandoned dwarven mine. At 200 feet, you reach a ceiling. It is.
I've reached the ceiling!
It is metal.
It's metal!
I'm very sorry.
Thanks, Siri. Telling me how many meters 200 feet is.
How many meters is it?
I wasn't listening.
And I pull out my dagger and I ting 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 try to see if it's like how thick it is. Just like a thin layer of 10 or.
Nah, it's pretty thick. Yeah, you get a thuddy sort of like sound to it. In the center is a hatch, but it looks like must be locked from the outside.
Okay, so it's locked from the other side. Okay, so if I can do that. So, well, I'm gonna try and just on the chin, I'm just gonna, use all of my fairy strength, all of my recently unconscious, sleepy fairy strength, and try to just yank the hatch open.
Doesn't much.
Okay. Can I hear anything through it?
No, whatever is on the other side, it's silent.
Okay, and apart from the hatch itself, do I get the sense that the metal opens up, or is it that do I guess there'd be gore and stuff on it, right? Because
The hatch is there's definitely marks and drippings of things that have kind of congealed together from around the seams of the hatch.
Yeah.
But from the rest of the metal, no, it's set into the stone.
Okay. I float down a little bit and I cast Firebolt at the hatch.
Okay.
Do you want me to roll?
Make an attack roll.
Okay, so that's a 1.
The firebolt disperses off, making a clang sound, but the embers sort of come back and sort of rain over you a little bit, so you have to shield yourself, but it is unscathed, as you just see a little black scorch mark on it.
So I flutter back down and I sort of cast a sorrowful look around at people as I go back to my probably burning giblets over there and
Very crispy.
Not going that way. Close it is.
You're welcome.
Just walk it down this way.
What did you find? I found a tunnel with more bones. A tunnel that is less smelly.
Please tell me you came back for the more bones.
I mean, I'm all for less smelly. It stinks in here.
The smelling is good.
Less smelly and air. More airflow.
That's good.
A good sign.
Actually, yes, that's even better.
Iviagus, what did you pick up from this tunnel with water?
There's water, and it's raining.
He's a master of observation.
It's not fiery, so we could probably go and have a drink of water and refresh ourselves.
Is it running in this direction or that direction?
I couldn't see.
Because that direction's a bad one.
I still think we should rest. We haven't completed our sleep. I'm dying here.
Think about eating our bones while we're asleep.
Our bones? Well, it's got plenty of bones here. It's not going to eat us.
Sort of go after those fresh ones.
Can't go back to the
I don't
beach.
think it actually will, honestly.
Let's keep an eye on it. We'll go back to the beach. We'll finish our sleep, and then we can decide if we're going for a swim or we're going to the place that doesn't smell.
I start wandering around with what looks to be part of the dry, flat hip bone kind of thing. It's been cut in sort of half, and it's got some giblets, and I just pop them around.
Fiore just
I had some rations.
What brand is it?
I bought one of the last few bits there.
Staples.
Not sure. Good though.
I sold that worse.
As you say good, the creature a few paces away is just good, good.
This is delicious, great spirit. I have another.
I take it over to the creature.
Try. Good.
Good. Good.
We could just live here. It's nice.
Fiore just looks at you no.
So, we rest. Yes?
Yes.
Yes.
Please.
Name?
Russell.
Yes.
Zero.
Yes. Who's on first?
Russell. Siren.
Name?
Name.
Siren.
Siren.
Russell.
Russell.
Russell. Yeah, it's like
Shuruk, blessed of the thunder, also thick.
Russell.
Oh, can we keep it? Please, Mother, can we keep it? I'll take good care of it.
I'll feed it every day as many bones as possible. Feed's good for a few years.
I am now attached to this creature. I'm sorry.
You watch. Keep safe.
Watch. Safe. Russell.
Russell.
Friend.
Russell. Friends. Russell. Friends. And there's like got a full like bone with like meat on it this time.
Ooh,
It's like,
friends share the bone.
More from you. I think you're okay.
now it's important to know, now that it's facing you, as it has eaten this meat off the bone, it comes out in its rib cage and falls on the ground.
Oh.
Don't mind if I do.
If we can
So it's not actually eating, it just has and then it just goes straight through.
If we can make this process sterile, somehow we can commercialize it. Yeah, definitely not horrified at all. You know, packing all of this trauma down in days.
It'll all come back at once. So
Yeah, for a quiet room and maybe like a very, very large like clay urn to scream into.
Just scream
But yes.
Is there anything we notice about that creature? So, like, are there any sigils relating clothes on it? Is it completely bestial and bony? Like,
Yeah.
because obviously this is a some kind
Apart
of
from the eyes.
monstrous creature. Do I get any sense as I'm sort of wandering around thinking about my little giblet up over here? Because I'm kind of just sussing things out.
You got a cool fever.
Like what this thing is, or how it came to be.
Yeah, well, being a wizard and probably trained in the Arcana skill, I'll get you to do an Arcana check. As I assume, because of the time, we're heading back for a long rest to be completed.
I mean, this room seems as safe as any other room, probably.
Wherever you guys ended up.
So that is 18.
18, okay. Yes, witherlings. It dawns on you, you get a little bit, you're like, oh, witherlings, that stupid thing. They are very much a gnoll turned undead. So sometimes gnolls at the end of you do turn on each other. If it's maybe for power, to see rules of warband, or because of extreme starvation. Sometimes the extreme starvation is intentional. They intentionally starve certain gnolls until they start attacking each other. Under gnolls, ordinary circumstances, they are deprived of victims, struggle to control their hunger and violent urges, and eventually fighting each other. Whoever survives this devouring of flesh, but preserve the bones, can be used in a ritual. This ritual to Yenagu brings these remains of the creature that's been slain back. So this is a witherling, this is a gnoll that's been killed by its own kind, and then through ritual being restored.
Right.
However, you know to some of the arcane texts that you have studied, witherlings are ferociously loyal to their masters, the one that revived them, and they are extremely violent. They don't eat, but they forever consume. Which picks as an oddity. This creature is very much not violent.
Friend.
Oh, friend.
They shouldn't be able to speak either. That's another thing you pick up.
He's beating us. Yay!
Suspicious.
You know we're adopting him.
Oh yeah.
I know.
We're gonna find
He
ways.
has a name.
We're gonna get him a suit. like a paper bag. And just be like, friends.
We're gonna find
He's
ways to
gonna
get
get
him out of here.
be in a full like suit and just be like, man.
Oh, we're getting a suit in Hall.
Yeah.
Yes, please.
Full play friend.
So, as you ponder that information, the group gets set about sorting out their long rest. And at the end of that, which goes without any issue, thanks to your known friends. I mean, obviously, every couple of hours, some more bodies come flying down. And you hear the skittering of the whittling. After a while, Fiora's awake. She's fully awake. You all get a long rest.
Yay!
And as we close tonight's session out, you will also level to 6. So, thank you everybody for joining us for our return to the Cult of Hunger. A little bit more state session as we reset, reinvigorate this mini campaign. Stay tuned for more episodes. We are off next Thursday because of Anzac Day. So please feel free, if you're not doing anything on that day, to rewatch some of the amazing episodes you can find on YouTube. And you can see up to 2 weeks in our past on Twitch if you subscribe. Otherwise, thank you for joining us. And we will all see you, not next Thursday, but the Thursday after. Thank you and good night.
Bye.
Which one is it?